are here at the 2023 California Spring Trials in Gilroy, California.
Yeah.
Garlic capital of the world.
Behind Garlic World.
Garlic World is right over there, which means we're at Head Start Nursery, home of Danziger, one of the Israeli breeding companies represented out here in California. And we're going to take a look at their new varieties. Oh, by the way, I'm Chris from Growertalks.
I'm Jen from Growertalks.
I'm Bill from Tech on Demand.
And you probably know us by now, but anyway, we ought to head inside and, because I know they're going to have a lot of new introductions.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's check it out. Wow. Now this trial at Danziger I would say it hasn't changed that much in the many years I've been coming.
The format hasn't changed.
The format hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Good point. The varieties have definitely changed. And it's spectacular in here, but what we all love about it is the easy layout. So what we decided to do is present kind of the same way we write. We're going to take turns. And I get to go first because I love these petunias over here. They've got 5 new ones that I want to show you. Up first is Capella. Capella is their mounded type. This is called Rim Fuchsia. Right next to it is Amore Princess Pink, a brand new one, and Amore indicates these heart shapes that you see within the flowers. Beautiful pale pink. Next to it is another Amore King of Hearts, which is improved for more consistent color. It won't tend to go quite as white in the heat.
More stable pattern.
And how about this one? A brand new little sub-series or series called Amazonas. This is plum cockatoo, but the Amazonas indicates this green around the edge. So if you see, and the ruffling, but if you see that green, it's an Amazonas. They also say it makes for a tougher flower. That's interesting. And lastly, in the Cascadias, which is their vigorous basket type, this nice, rich Arizona sky that's sort of yellow and burgundy.
And moving on, in this one I saw the minute we walked in the door, I almost thought it looked like a Coreopsis because of the bloom, because they're so large. This is the new Bidden's Blazing Star. The trick with this is that it is a compact plant, but you can create this quart from one cutting with no pinch or PGR. It is an absolutely beautiful Bidden's.
One thing that Danziger does a lot of is Calibrachoa breeding, and they've got a few Calibrachoa new varieties. This is their Colibri series, which is their controlled growth series. So it's really tidy in pots and combos. They've got 2 new ones, Tangerine and Spark Purple. And the spark is with a little star shape in the middle. Kind of going along with the spark theme. They have also the Leah series, which is a little bit more of a cascading, trailing Calibrachoa. This is Spark Pink, and this is Violet. And then they have their Ombre series, which is like 2-toned or multi-toned blooms, and this is Purple.
In Lobularia, Danziger has the Stream series, which they say are big boys, and that's a quote. Now they've got Stream Compacts, which are not quite as big boys, maybe 30% smaller or so. 4 different colors in this sub-series. They've got white, violet, purple, and rose, sort of the 4 main colors you'd want in a Lobularia.
And in Osteos, Danziger's introducing 2 new members of the Osticade series, Aurora and Twilight Moon. What they told us is the main story with these is that they can be grown warm alongside your Calibrachoas or petunias if you don't have individual greenhouses or environmental zones to grow these cool.
Danziger's Lantana, they have the Gem series, which is their large series. It grows about 2 feet in the landscape. And they have 2 new gems here. This is Pearl, which is kind of like this creamy yellow. And then they have Lemon Quartz, which is a little bit more yellowy. Right now, there's not a whole lot of flowers on it, but there's a lot of little buds. And by next week, it probably will be full of color.
How about Scaevola? 2 new ones here. Blessings is the series name, and look at the bicolor on this lavender. That's really nice. These are spreading habit, as you can see from the way they sprawl out, but I love the compactness of the foliage and also of the flower umbels.
Now meet Vanessa Magenta is in the Vanessa series. And these are all part of this Vanessa that has this powdery mildew resistant breeding. And they told us that this is a much needed color and really, really good for mixes. And you can see it fills in right all the way to the center of that pot.
Now, Lisa Heredia said that when you mention Diacia, people start to shudder. But this is a pretty cool one because it's got the clear white flowers. This is part of their Trinity series. This one's called Grace. And she said it's much tougher than the others because it holds the blooms even when there's a horrible storm. Usually Diacia, there'll be the blooms all over the place, but this one holds its blooms and is more heat tolerant. It grows into a nice shrub.
In Angelonia, we've got two series, Alonia and Big Alonia. The names pretty much describe it to you. Here's a pink improved in Big Alonia. Big Grape, boy, those are deep colored flowers there. Big Cherry. And in the regular standard size Alonias, this is purple. And what they're breeding for in all of their Angelonias is a stiff habit, plenty of flowers all the way up. They don't want it to lodge open.
Last year at Danziger, we looked at some new breeding in Kufia with this Cubano series. And this year, the introduction is Cubano Presidente. And you can tell that this one is quite large. It's going to make a true statement and an amazing pollinator plant. Watching those bees and hummingbirds stick their pollinator devices into these trumpets.
Top 5 dahlias, love them. And Danziger is breeding a lot in their different dahlia series. There's 2 new ones. This one is Abstract Fuchsia in their Darlin series. There's 2 in Darlin. This one, I mean, don't look at it too closely. That's what, because I guess Lisa said it was at the end of the truck and got a little beat up, but this is actually what the pattern looks like. And then Osvaldo, the second Darlin, my darling, come over here, darling, is this Perfect Red. And I have to say, it is kind of perfect, especially this one right here. That right there.
Well, gang, that was a pretty solid presentation all the way through there.
Pats
no
on the
takes,
backs.
no cuts, no nothing. But did you happen to notice a theme amongst many of the varieties that we just saw?
I did.
Oh, what is it?
Young William.
A lot of these are pollinator plants. We saw the Kufia, certainly the Angelonia, plenty of the other plants down the line. They have a lot of pollinator plants
They've
here.
also got a lot of heat tolerant.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And when you combine those two, it leads to their message for this year's trial, In Tune with Nature, where they made this beautiful display that shows just how many of these Danziger varieties are in tune with nature. They're pollinator friendly, they're drought resistant, good for the water-wise gardening.
Require fewer chemicals and PGRs.
And let me tell you, bright colors. There's a lot of color in here. I should be wearing sunglasses, I feel.
That's right. I think that was another trial we had sunglasses on. We still have those? Somewhere in the back of our car out there. Anyway, that's Chris.
Jen.
And Bill.
From the 2023 California Spring Trials Danziger display.